The 3-kilometer-wide Strait of Messina separates Sicily from mainland Italy. A plan to build the world's longest suspension bridge here is intended to unite Europe. It has also been a source of strife for decades.
This bridge will finally make it possible to travel by train from Helsinki to Palermo.
450 families on both sides of the strait would lose their homes.
Hundreds of thousands of migrating birds would die every year.
Who really needs this bridge? And who stands to gain from it? We're in Messina to find out. Daniele Lacqua belongs to the No Ponte Action Group, which hopes to stop the bridge's construction.
This neighborhood would be raised flat. All these houses would have to make way for the bridge. All the way up the hill. They would first be expropriated and then demolished. That transmission tower back there is about 200 meters tall. The bridge pylon they want to build here would be almost twice that.
In Messina and in Calabria on the mainland, some 450 families would lose their homes. One of them is Rosa Catafi, who moved here 11 years ago.
I'm not planning on leaving here. I made a lot of sacrifices to buy this house. This is where I want to live, where I want to grow old. I'm retiring in a year, and I've got a lot of projects here. But we're not giving up hope, and we'll fight to the end.
For now, people still take the ferry. It's a 20-minute crossing. If the bridge is built, crossing would only take a few minutes. It would be the world's longest suspension bridge. Even ancient Romans dreamed of connecting Sicily to the mainland. If the Italian government's plans go ahead, their dream will finally become reality. The No Ponte campaigners fear that a project of this magnitude, worth over 13 billion euros, will also attract crime.
This bridge would not only connect the Sicilian mafia and the 'Ndrangheta on the Calabrian mainland, but 30 other mafia groups too. Messina could become like 1930 Chicago, where people shoot each other because everyone wants in on the action.
But in Rome, Transport Minister Matteo Salvini from the right-wing Lega party is the giant bridge's biggest supporter. He sees it as a strategic European infrastructure project. That's why he even tried to fund it in parts with money from NATO's defense budget.
We anticipate 6,000 vehicles per hour and 200 trains per day. The added value, apart from the 13.5 billion euros in investment costs, would be around 23 billion euros. In addition, the state could generate more than 10 billion euros in direct and indirect revenue, and 120,000 jobs would be created.
Salvini would not speak to journalists that day. The Italian Court of Audit has since halted the project, raising doubts about the planned financing and pointing to violations of EU competition rules. But Salvini is not giving up on his bridge. And there's another problem the government faces: migratory birds.
This is one of the most important migratory bird flyways. A single bird's death can have catastrophic effects on the whole European bird population.
Anna Giordano has been defending these birds for 40 years. The bridge is planned to be built in a protected bird reserve, which would violate several EU guidelines.
When migratory birds arrive here, they often have to fight strong winds. These winds can throw them against anything: cliffs, steel cables, or huge bridge pylons. Imagine how many would die.
In the hills above Messina, Anna and other volunteers have been caring for injured birds for years. Many are migratory birds who were injured during their journey south along the Strait of Messina, or were simply too weak to continue. Today, she's releasing some of the birds they've rescued. The bridge, she says, would be disastrous not only for the environment, but also for the federal budget.
Imagine having a house with no roof, no bathroom, and no kitchen. And then you spend the little money you have on a pool table. What a waste!
And so Enna will fight on, for the birds and against the Italian government's grand prestige project.